On July 22nd, GloRilla found herself on the wrong end of the law after getting booked for felony marijuana possession, with the stash allegedly discovered at her home. But now, newly released jail footage is making waves and, let's just say, it's not painting her in the best light. Here's the twist. She wasn't even the target of the investigation in the first place. We've got all the details right here. Let's get into it. GloRilla behind bars. Fresh footage from the jail has hit the internet, and everyone's talking. While some folks are fixated on her surprisingly flawless mugshot, the real buzz is about her July 2025 air stand. It's shaking the hip-hop community to its core. Questions are flying about what really went down and how this could happen to someone who was the victim in all this. Let me walk you through it from the top, because this story starts with a scene that's got people fired up. Picture it. July 20th, 2025. About 1:30 a.m. 3 intruders break into GloRilla's home in the upscale St. Marlow neighborhood of Forsyth County. But here's what makes this story wild. Glo wasn't even there. She was all the way in Indianapolis, turning up the energy during halftime at the WNBA All-Star Game, with players like Angel Reese vibing courtside to her Memphis flavor. The burglary escalated fast. A family member inside fired shots to scare off the invaders, and they took off after swiping some jewelry. Thankfully, no one was hurt. But what happened after is what's raising serious eyebrows. Police arrived to investigate the break-in, but instead of locking in on the burglars, they claimed they smelled marijuana and decided to obtain a search warrant. That led them to what they called a large amount of marijuana, over an ounce, found in GloRilla's master bedroom closet, along with a Schedule I controlled substance. 2 days later, on July 22nd, GloRilla voluntarily turned herself in at the Forsyth County Jail. She was charged with felony possession of marijuana and possession of a Schedule I substance. She posted a $22,260 bond and walked out the same day. But the real story isn't the charges. It's how a victim of a home invasion ended up being the only one arrested. While the actual suspects are still out there, GloRilla didn't hold her tongue about the ordeal either, and when she spoke out, the internet came to her defense fast. She took 2x to give a rundown of exactly what happened, sparking a wildfire of support and criticism toward law enforcement. "My house was broken into Saturday while I was out in Indianapolis performing at the WNBA All-Star Game. And instead of going after the people who broke in, they focused on weed," she posted, summing up the situation in 3 powerful points. That got fans sharing and reposting like crazy. Her message was short, raw, and real. "No, I wasn't caught with weed. My house got broken into. I wasn't even home. Long story short, my house was robbed. And somehow, I'm the one who ends up arrested." The post went viral, fast, over 60,000 likes and thousands of retweets from fans outraged at what they saw as a completely backwards move by police. Her legal team wasn't quiet either. Attorneys Drew Finding and Marissa Goldberg clapped back hard, calling the arrest a disturbing example of how twisted the justice system's priorities can be. They emphasized how cops should have been focused on finding the intruders who terrorized her family, not hunting for weed in a state where it's still illegal recreationally. What really had fans furious was the timing and context. Here's a woman who's out of town, working hard, repping her city on a national stage, getting the crowd hyped in while she's doing all that. Her home is getting violated, yet she's the one who ends up behind bars. The fan response was instant and loud. GloRilla has clearly earned love and respect in the culture. Social media erupted with support and one clear message: the system's got its priorities all wrong. On X, it was post after post of disbelief and anger. One user summed it up perfectly. "So GloRilla's house gets broken into, and instead of hunting down the suspects, the cops issue a search warrant, then an arrest warrant for her over weedwind? She wasn't even home. That's insane." That post alone pulled in tens of thousands of interactions. Another tweet that blew up read, "3 people broke into GloRilla's home while she was gone. Cops show up, find weed, and she gets arrested. She's the victim, not the criminal." That one earned over 19,000 likes and 2,600 reposts. But this wasn't just about defending Glo, it was about calling out a broken system. Fans were pointing out how the actual criminals are still out there, while the person who had her home violated is the only one facing charges. Comments like, "They'll do anything to tear you down. The cops had no business searching her place when someone literally robbed her," showed how deeply people were tying this story to the broader conversation about how Black women and Black artists especially get mistreated by the system. What's even more telling, the way fans used humor to deal with it. Even while calling out injustice, they didn't lose that signature hip-hop energy. People started making memes and sarcastic posts, like, "Wait, someone breaks into GloRilla's house. They find weed, and she's the one arrested when she wasn't even there." make it make sense. Using comedy to point out just how upside down the situation really was. Now let's zoom out and talk about what this arrest means in the context of GloRilla's history with the law, because this isn't her first tangle with Georgia police and that pattern. It's telling. This was actually her second arrest in Georgia in just 15 months, in both cases involved drug charges that fans believe were unfair or targeted. The first incident that put her legal troubles in the spotlight happened in April 2024. That case went viral too, but for very different reasons. Glo got pulled over in Gwinnett County for making an illegal U-turn at a red light. What happened next became instant internet history. Have you been drinking tonight? The body cam footage from that DUI stop spread fast, partly because Glo wasn't exactly making things easy for the officers. Her personality came through loud and clear, and people had mixed reactions. Some were cracking up. Others were cringing. Do you know who I am? No, I don't. That exchange instantly became meme-worthy. The officer's deadpan reply had some people laughing at the humbling moment, while others felt bad that even her fame couldn't protect her from the situation.
I'm not.
Throughout the entire encounter, GloRilla kept insisting she was okay to drive, though the officers clearly smelled both alcohol and marijuana. The footage showed her struggling during sobriety tests and dealing with what some called a wardrobe malfunction, yet she kept denying that she was under the influence. That case eventually got handled without any jail time, though details about fines or probation were never officially disclosed. What's raising eyebrows among fans now is the pattern. Both of these incidents happened in Georgia, a state that still enforces some of the toughest drug laws in the country. For an artist like GloRilla, who reps Memphis but spends a lot of time in Atlanta, these repeated run-ins with law enforcement in the same state are starting to feel less like coincidence and more like a concerning trend. But before we dive even deeper into her legal saga, there's another chapter of her public image that needs to be addressed, something a lot of people still don't realize wasn't real. The prison rumor from 2023. That wild story claimed GloRilla spent 3 years behind bars for stealing cereal from a Kmart. Yes, cereal. And believe it or not, it all came from a joke. The rumor took off after she did a comedic interview with Funny Marco on his YouTube series, where he tossed out a made-up question about her being a cereal thief. Glo went along with the bit, clearly playing for laughs, but some fans took the entire thing literally and ran with it across social media. By April 2023, the rumor had gained so much traction that GloRilla had to shut it down herself. She jumped on X to set the record straight. Y'all really believed I went to jail for 3 years over cereal? Be for real. That's why y'all stay getting played. I'll believe anything someone tells you. She was clearly irritated that something meant as a joke had spiraled into a full-blown internet myth. And she used the moment to call out how quickly people latch on to fake stories online. The fact she even had to take time to debunk something so ridiculous just shows the extra nonsense women in hip-hop have to deal with on top of real legal cases. They're stuck clearing up internet lies, but GloRilla's controversies haven't stopped at courtroom drama and fake prison tales. She's faced constant public scrutiny. Whether it's beefs with other female rappers or backlash over her lyrics and social media posts, being in the spotlight means every move gets put under a microscope. One moment that sparked serious backlash was when she previewed a track using a lyric with the word underscore, which drew criticism for being ableist. Once fans called it out, she went back and revised the song, showing that she listens when fans raise valid concerns. There have also been appearance-based controversies. Old clips of her getting her makeup done resurfaced, sparking accusations of being a catfish. Debates exploded online about beauty standards and authenticity in the music industry. GloRilla clapped back by showing off her natural beauty and brushing off the critics, making it clear she's not here to conform to anyone's expectations. Even her wins haven't come without drama. When she took home the Dr. Bobby Jones Best Gospel Inspirational Award at the 2025 BET Awards for her track Rain Down on Me, it ignited serious backlash from traditional gospel fans. Many felt the secular rapper shouldn't be honored in that space, sparking heated debates about genre boundaries and the future of gospel music. Gospel artist Dietrich Haddon went public with his criticism, calling her win discouraging and disappointing, and even suggesting that the gospel music industry needed a major overhaul. What all these controversies make clear is that GloRilla's had to build tough skin and surround herself with solid support. From debunking fake prison stories to fighting through real-life legal drama, and from backlash over lyrics to gospel award, she's taken hits from all angles while still pushing forward in her career and maintaining a loyal fan base. As we dig deeper into GloRilla's journey, it becomes obvious that her latest legal issues are just one piece of a much larger story, one that includes intense feuds, viral controversies, and the kind of public pressure that would break most people. And speaking of feuds, GloRilla's got a few, but one stands out as especially explosive. Her clash with JT from City Girls. This beef had everything: cryptic tweets, savage insults, alleged sneak dissing, and enough back and forth to keep the internet lit for weeks. What made this feud even more intriguing was how it started as unconfirmed gossip and spiraled into full-blown war. It all traces back to a rumor that popped up in October 2023. Podcast host Armon Wiggins claimed on the wrap-up that GloRilla had approached JT in a friendly way at the 2023 MTV Video Music Awards, but instead of returning the energy, JT allegedly shut her down cold.
JT and GloRilla got into a fight or some sort of tussle backstage at the 2023 VMAs this year. Yes, girl. Girls were fighting at the VMAs backstage. We all thought it was going to be Nicki, Cardi, and Meg, and really it was GloRilla and JT duking it out backstage, but the girls were kind of keeping it hush-hush.
There were whispers of a scuffle backstage at the 2023 VMAs. Yep, the girls were really fighting behind the scenes. Everyone expected the drama to be between Nicki, Cardi, and maybe Meg, but instead, it was GloRilla and JT going at it backstage, though the situation was kept pretty low-key, according to Armon Wiggins. Things got physical after JT allegedly rolled her eyes and completely iced GloRilla out when she tried to speak or hug her. Wiggins claimed GloRilla either slapped JT or threw something at Urbit. No footage ever came out. Most people brushed it off as just messy podcast gossip. But once that kind of drama hits the timeline, it spreads fast. Whether true or not, it became part of the hip-hop narrative. Fans immediately started taking sides, making memes and rewriting the events as if they were there. For months, both artists had to dodge constant questions about whether they had real beef. The tension stayed bubbling under the surface until April 5, 2024, when GloRilla dropped her mixtape Ethang Ing. One track 8 directly addressed the JT situation. She rapped, "Me and JT ain't the best of friends, but we ain't beefin', and real bleep always hold it down and keep it secret." GloRilla said it was her way of shutting down the rumors, but JT didn't see it that way. She took the lyrics as GloRilla, fanning the flames for clout. JT pointed out that Glo had previously referenced slapping other rappers in songs like the FNF remix, which only added fuel to the rumors. Then a fan asked if GloRilla had actually slapped JT at the VMAs. That was the match to the gasoline. JT exploded on X, saying, "She never slapped me ever, ever, never. Y'all need to find someone else to play with." But she didn't stop there. JT dragged GloRilla's character, calling her sneaky, fake, and a disloyal friend. She said Glo came into the game messy and fake and brought up problems with the FNF remix that allegedly caused drama in GloRilla's own circle. Then it got personal. JT clowned Glo's looks, tweeting, "Ugly should never come out. Your mouth? You look like you were born feet first." She even posted a mugshot with a blank space labeled pending, basically threatening to throw hands. Glo wasn't staying silent either. She posted, then deleted tweets telling JT to shut your dumbass up and fix them ugly wigs. She accused JT of holding on to secret jealousy and mocked her denial of the slap. "I said your name to clear the air. What did you want me to say? I ain't slap you, just hit you with my purse instead." The argument kept escalating. GloRilla threatened to pop up at JT's shows and even made fun of JT's mugshots, saying, "Them mugshots are from stealing, not fighting." Both rappers were calling each other scary, corny, and fake, and the internet was living for it. But beyond the drama, it sparked bigger conversations about how female rappers are constantly pitted against each other and how social media turns minor shade into full-on beef. The drama only lasted a day before they both cooled off. But the damage to public perception was already done. When asked on a red carpet about the beef, GloRilla gave a vague response. "Everything, just always, everything. At the end of the day, that daggone mother end." Okay. Later on, Glo clarified that they had made peace. "Me and JT ain't best friends, but we ain't beefin'," she said. Be fine, they moved on, or at least agreed to keep things chill. JT never publicly disputed that. And no new shots have been fired between them. Since fans had mixed reactions, some thought it was unnecessary drama distracting from the music. Others blamed GloRilla for stirring up old rumors. But many also felt JT overreacted to what was supposed to be a peace gesture still. If you thought that was messy, just wait, because the next controversy tested GloRilla's closest friendship and loyalty in May 2025. Glo got into hot water with Megan Thee Stallion because of one Instagram story. It started when GloRilla reposted an inspirational quote with Tory Lanez 2015 track YDR playing in the background. Might seem innocent, but the context made it a big deal. Tory was convicted in 2022 for shooting Meghan in the feet, and Meg had just gone live days earlier expressing how much hate she still gets from his fans. So when Glo posted anything with his music, fans took it as a slap in the face, especially considering how close she and Meg had seemed within hours. Screenshots showed Meghan unfollowed GloRilla and deleted shared posts, including a birthday shoutout. Fans were shocked. Their friendship looked solid just weeks before. Glo quickly deleted the story, but by then, it was already chaos online. The hotties were calling her a traitor. Posts like, "Meghan's bestie GloRilla just posted a Tory song," were getting thousands of likes. The backlash was intense, especially since Meghan had supported GloRilla's rise with major collabs and tour slots. On May 22nd, GloRilla addressed it, calling it an innocent repost and claiming she didn't realize the song was Tory Lanez until fans pointed it out. "I don't do mess. I deleted it once I saw the comments," she said. She also refollowed Meghan and reposted their old content, clearly trying to fix things. Some fans believed her. Others weren't buying it. "How you not know what song you posting?" they asked, especially one tied to someone who hurt your friend. Meghan didn't comment publicly, but insiders said she was hurt and reacted on impulse by It wasn't a permanent rift. By July, everything seemed cool again. Both were following each other and interacting like before. But the moment served as a serious lesson for Glo. In this industry, even one careless post can jeopardize real relationships. That experience and others like it have shaped how GloRilla navigates friendships and fame in the digital age. They've made her more mindful and earned her a reputation for being real and responsive, even when things go left. So now let's take a look at how all of these moments, controversy, challenges, and come-ups have fueled GloRilla's rise to stardom. From singing in Memphis church choirs to Grammy nods and bet wins, GloRilla's evolution is a masterclass in resilience. Born Gloria Hallelujah Woods on July 28, 1999, she grew up in modest circumstances that shaped both her values and her sound. Her musical journey started in church, where she built the vocal presence and energy that still shows up in her live sets today. At 16, she lost her singing voice due to illness, but instead of giving up, she pivoted to rap. That moment taught her to adapt and keep pushing, a lesson that stuck. She started in Memphis underground scene, releasing her first mixtape, Most Likely Up Next, in 2019, followed by the EPP status in 2020. But her breakthrough came in 2022, when she dropped FNF, Let's Go With Hit Kid. That single got her signed to Yo Gotti's CMG in July 2022, giving her the machine to blow up. From there, it was full speed ahead. She landed in the 2023 XXL freshman class. Her EP Anyways, Life's Great peaked at No. 11 on the Billboard 200, and she started collaborating with big names. Her track Tomorrow 2 with Cardi B hit the Hot 100 top 10 and went double platinum. Her collab Wanna Be with Megan Thee Stallion cracked the top 40 and became a summer anthem in 2024. She dropped her debut album Glorious, which peaked at No. 5 and set records for first-week sales by a female rapper that year. It was praised as a gritty yet accessible Memphis manifesto. She kept the momentum with genre-bending tracks like Typa and Rain Down on Me, featuring Kirk Franklin and Maverick City Music. That last track won her the Dr. Bobby Jones Best Gospel Inspirational Award at the 2025 Bets, though it stirred debate over what gospel should be. Still, her live performances have become legendary. Her WNBA All-Star Game halftime show had Angel Reese and the crowd hyped, in her Glorious tours proved she could sell out shows across the country, even when things went sideways. Like audience fights forcing a show in St. Louis to end early, she kept delivering for fans. She was named Hip Hop Artist of the Year at the 2025 iHeartRadio Awards and received Billboard's Powerhouse Award for dominating 2024. But her personal growth is